shame, fear, guilt, humiliation. What does that all lead to? A hostile environment, creating an atmosphere of fear. You mean to tell me that I came to a platform after I retired to get on another platform that has presented the same problem? Or maybe YouTube just haven't paid it attention. Maybe they have just had so many people on YouTube that they just can't get around to really taking a deep dive in some of the platforms that might be pushing this particular narrative. Well, let me help you out. I just made a video, and the video is over there at KG Television. That's right. Another young man who is very passionate, just like his mother. We're very passionate about people's mental health and their health. And so we made a video and we put it on his channel. Once again, that's KG. I want everybody to go over there to KG TV and watch that video. Now my video is a YouTube alert, alerting people, and YouTube especially, that on their platform, they have people that is bullying, pushing out a negative narrative that can cause an incident that YouTube had in 2018 in April. Okay? They had an incident, and I'm quite sure they don't want to go back down memory lane. And no, I'm not Minnie Riperton. But just an unfriendly reminder once again, when YouTube had this incident, they had it about a young lady who went into a YouTube building, and there was a shooting, and several people got killed. Okay, so now I'm going to point out that because these platforms are pushing certain narratives, certain people are getting unfair treatment, some people are getting their videos demonetized, their views are getting taken away, then that same thing can happen again. And I'm quite sure that YouTube doesn't want to revisit that lane. I know you don't. But since I have a son with a unique ability that loves all this information, that remembers all these things, that points us in directions to danger, to also help keep him out of danger, then I'm bringing it up. And I'm quite sure that if YouTube understands that this behavior is going on and they don't want to go back to another shooting or a deletion, then they will look into it. Now, my greatest concern is in these spaces, you have people that probably have reported these incidents, but nothing seems to get done about it. Nothing. And if you can take somebody's channel and demonetize them for their music, for their cursing, taking their channels down for things that they're not even sure why it's got taken down, then you're part of the problem also. Now, I said when I came on this platform that I didn't want to be in another space, like in the brick and mortar space that I was in, that produced this type of discrimination and fear. And I didn't want to be in a space like that. And right, you got every right. Okay, you don't want to be in a space like this? Just leave. But it's not that simple for me. Because I'm a person, like I said, just like Mr. Beast, who is compassionate and likes to play and can say certain words and not be penalized for them. But on our side, we look disabled. We get bullied. We get pushed out. That's what I'm saying. And you just need to take a deeper dive into what's going on at YouTube. Now, you said that you asked specific questions, and in asking those questions, we're supposed to be here as a platform to solve those problems. And right now, we see a problem. And the problem is that when you have somebody going up on platforms, and especially the military, and shout out to the military, I'm basically saying that if somebody is pushing their buttons and they can go from 0 to 100, that could be a problem. That could be a dangerous problem. Now, I'm going to say this. Everybody on YouTube know who this person is. I'm new to YouTube, okay? And I'm quite sure that they've made reports. I thought I'd do something special. I thought I'd make a video. I thought this would be better. Because like I said, I'm a very passionate person. I want to see people get well. I want them in spaces that are safe. And I want them to push out exceptional content. But sometimes they can't do that because they have platforms that are bullying, creating an atmosphere of fear, bringing about humiliation, tapping into people's vulnerability. And let me say one thing about vulnerability. That don't mean that you're weak because you're vulnerable. That's not what that means. That means that you took some risk. And in that risk, you may have failed. And in that failure, you were exposed. But even in that exposure, when you step forward, you know what happens? That means that you got courage. And some people don't have that courage. So what do? They do everything to demean you, to say negative things about you, to demoralize you, and push your buttons. So, YouTube, the question for me is, why aren't you looking into channels that is bringing a negative narrative that could possibly get someone hurt, get someone killed, trigger someone's behavior to the point that it triggered this young lady's behavior? And you do remember this because this happened April 3rd, between April 3rd or April 5th. I'm not looking at quite but I'm holding it up on the screen. 2018. All right. May 2011, in NLD recognition, I had wrote about this type of incident. This was in 2011. It is 2018. I don't think the problem is getting solved. And I don't want to see stuff pushed up under the rug. And I don't want to see anybody going into anybody's chat, pushing their button, tapping into their vulnerability, and getting killed. Because that's what's going to happen. Now, if YouTube sit here and say, well, we didn't get the email, or if you don't upload the video, then maybe we just have to keep taking steps, petition, or do whatever to make this behavior stop. Because like I said, you've already had this happen, and you don't want this to happen again. I know that, I think it's Sundar Pichai. I've been writing about him in my blog back in 2011. Nothing negative, very positive. But I'm quite sure that he could take a look at this. I don't think Susan, I think it was Wiki, or she had a strange name. I'm not sure that she's still with the CEO of her company. I think she left, but there were other people that came out and acknowledged this horrible incident. Tim Cook and all these CEOs, they don't want to revisit this place. So if they don't want to be out making these apologies and saying we're sorry and that this is a shame, then get on it, YouTube. Like I said, if you can go in there and take down people's channels for things that some of the things may be petty for some people, and they may not get paid, like this young lady had said she didn't get paid, and she was constantly getting demonetized, or having somebody in chats that's pushing a negative narrative and pushing people's button and making fun and mocking a person with a unique ability. And just in case you two may not understand what that unique ability is, our society say they're disabled, but we got another story coming out for that one. But in the meantime, check it out, look into it, and you have policy. That's YouTube's policy. But there are laws that protects against this. Workplace laws. That's you have a policy, and there are laws. And what YouTube needs to do is ask some specific questions and find out who this content creator is and what he has been doing, because there are videos, plenty of videos of it. Now, I will not reward his behavior by calling out his name. That's not what I'm going to do. You have AI now, all those magnificent brains, and I'm quite sure they can find out who this person is. But I think I've held you up long enough. I thank you for your time. I thank you for your ears. And like I said, if you can see through the eyes of another person, if you can hear through their ears, and if you can listen to their heartbeat, that is empathy. And empathy is the greatest open door of communication that you can have on your platform. And if you have, for some way, closed the door on empathy, then YouTube, just like you had this shooting, then that can occur again. Then maybe you will be at risk at losing your subscribers. But once again, thank you for listening to me. This is not a rant. I'm just being passionate. Just want you to pay attention. Just want you to ask yourself specific questions. That's all. Give us some solutions. We'd like to hear. Maybe you all could come out and address YouTube platform and say some changes that you're going to make. I truly would appreciate it, because like I said, just like Mr. Beast is passionate about playing and enjoying his life, I'm passionate about people's mental health and their health. And we've had enough deaths. And YouTube, get on it.